It's time for the Red Steel review for the Wii. Happy, late New Year, everyone. This is my first review of 2010. How did this game turn out? Well, let's see. Red Steel's story is about a guy named Scott, you, who after meeting your fiancé's father, gets mixed up in a Japanese gang fight. In the midst of it, your fiancé is kidnapped and it is up to you to save her. Red Steel is a mix of a first-person shooter, but also incorporates first-person, sword techniques, I guess. You'll mainly play through the game with a gun, but there will be instances where you will fight with a sword as well. When it comes to realistic graphics, it's kinda hard to say whether they're good or not for the Wii, because, well, you know, the Wii is not a powerhouse when it comes to graphics. So for this game, I'd say the graphics are very well done for what the Wii has to offer. Now, most of it looked good, but there were numerous noticeable graphical glitches throughout the levels. This just tells me that the game was not properly tested enough. These glitches don't really hurt your chances of completing the game, but they're glitches nonetheless. The controls are very well done for the most part. It's a simple point-and-shoot game, and you'll use the directional pad on the Wiimote to change weapons and reload. You can also flick the nunchuck to reload, but I just use the directional pad. So for the most part, the controls are very well done, but I found the scoping controls were not the best. To scope, you would have to hold down the A button and thrust the Wiimote towards your TV screen. Do you see a problem with this? I do. With this control scheme, your aim can be altered, not in your favor. In other words, it becomes easy to mess up your shot while scoping. Unless you are really calm during a shootout, you might find scoping a bit of a hassle in this game. So those are the gun controls, but what about the sword controls? In one word, ugh. I found these controls to be on the brink of terrible. Thank God most of the game was a first-person shooter and not having to fight using a sword. In the cases where you did have to fight with a sword, I found the best way to defeat your opponent was just to flail the Wiimote. This usually did the trick in the first quarter of the game. It does become harder with more advanced opponents, so to beat these guys, you'll have to use some defensive moves because flailing will get you nowhere. To swing your sword, just swing the Wiimote. Sounds easy, right? Not so much. Sometimes the motion sensors wouldn't read your swing correctly, or sometimes at all. I think the sword fighting would be great if you were using the Wii Motion Plus like you do in Wii Sports Resort. When you would win a duel, you could choose to either have mercy on that person or finish them off. If you didn't kill them, you would be awarded with respect points, which can be used to purchase new sword techniques, which are basically useless due to the poor motion sensor controls.
Okay, peace, man. I give up.
The voice acting was great, although the script could have been worked on a bit, that is, when you're playing throughout the levels. Almost all the henchmen sounded the same, depending on where you were, and there was only like 2 to 3 lines of dialogue, so it got pretty old pretty fast. But as for the voice acting and script in the cutscenes, I thought they were both pretty well done. As you go through, you will learn new abilities that I think are pretty cool, and they can really help you defeat your opponents. I have heard that people really don't like this game. In fact, when I pulled it out of the magical chicken, I received multiple comments that basically said, "Good luck with that game." Honestly, I don't know what they're talking about. I thought this game was pretty fun, as a first-person shooter. As for the sword duels of the game, no. The developers really need to work on that. The multiplayer was fun for the most part, but there was no background music when playing it. It's not a huge deal, but I think it would have made multiplayer more fun. One feature that I did like was that before you began, you could choose one of 3 different attributes, like double health, double damage, or unlimited ammo. All 3 of us liked this feature. It added an edge to the scenario. Red Steel is a very good game. Very good graphics, very good controls when using a gun, great voice acting, and a good story. Now basically the downside of this game was the sword fighting in general. Bad controls can ruin a cool concept for a game, and that's exactly what happened with the sword duels in Red Steel. Oh yeah, I have to say, why in the world am I dueling with swords in the first place? Is it because of some honor thing? Why can't I just shoot them with my gun? Look, when you're in a hurry and it's your life at stake, are you really going to be concerned about your honor? I wouldn't think so. Indiana Jones has it down. So overall, this game was pretty fun to play. Even though the sword duels were junk, the vast majority of the game was a first-person shooter, which made up for the bad and sometimes even boring sword duels. This game gets a 3.5 out of 5 with the title of good.